Unless you're Tara Palmer Tompkinson, my next reason leaves you no option but to vote for Open All Hours. It's the only sitcom in the top 10 set in the world of work. Like you and me, Arkwright and Granville have to graft to eke a living. Up at the crack of dawn and getting no sleep till bedtime, our two working class heroes know that if you don't work, then you don't eat.
I think it's a little gem of northern working class humour.
You know, when old Blue Eyes sings about the wee small hours of the morning, it's obvious he never works in a shop.
I know your sort. If I didn't turf you out of bed of a morning, you'd be lying around there while gone 7.
Some of the success, of course, of Open All Hours is because it's working class. It's something which a lot of us recognise.
If only the nurse had a more respectable job.
Well, nursing's respectable.
Well, you never know what they've had hold of, do you?
It's well written about working class people. It doesn't glamorise it, and it doesn't make it appear heroic.
I believe in, you know, music and art and literature.
You don't believe in anything real, do you?
Yeah, they're real.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Not to us. They're only real to people like teachers who don't have to work for a living.
I'm surprised that there aren't more comedies set in workplaces. I don't know, I've never thought of it like that, because that is the ideal place to set a sitcom because of the hierarchies. You've got it instantly there.
He thought about you.
Did he?
While he was still drowsy from the anaesthetic.
No. Go on. Did he?
Ring our Granville, he said, and see if he's sold them other 12 toilet rolls.
Do you remember when all comedy had to be was funny? Before the tyranny of political correctness strangled the laughs burgeoning in our throats, and the comedy thought police issued edicts on what was and wasn't allowed to be amusing. Well, Roy Clark can, and Open All Hours is his paean to those times. Is it politically correct? No. Is it funny? Yes. Is it my next reason? You bet.
You don't honestly think I'm going to get away with this, do you?
Someone has always got to be the butt of the joke. No matter what joke, someone has to suffer. It's the law of comedy.
Hey, hang on.
Oh, what is it now?
If you didn't upset anyone, you would be saying nothing.
Oh. They're coming from far and wide.
Most people like what they like, and they realise these days that they have to pretend to like things they're supposed to like, but I mean, they don't always mean it.
Anyway, the milkwoman reckons I've got gypsy-looking eyes.
Oh, yeah. Neither taxed nor insured, I know.
I think because the character of Arkwright would have had no truck with, you know, political correctness or with alternative comedy, it wouldn't have made any sense to him. They were lucky, really, because there was no need for it to kind of, you know, invade that little world.
Do you know that things were so hard in my day that people from Bradford used to go looking for work in Pakistan?
There was a scene with a little boy smoking a cigarette outside the shop, and you went, you can't crikey.
You shouldn't be smoking at your age. Not if you're not buying them from me, you shouldn't.
Turn around, Mummy.
Whether it was some woman or some... it doesn't matter. He ignored all of those rules or things, or implications that were coming in, and we just did what was funny.
Land of the tropical heat. Land of the...
Woodbines.
Despair, emptiness, tragedy. These are all emotions viewers go through every time the Vicar of Dibley appears on our screens. But it takes pure comic genius to deal with epic issues, and turn them into great television. Arkwright and Granville are trapped in their own world with no prospect of escape, but it's a testimony to their brilliance that we are happy to join them whenever we can.
Oh, where did I go wrong, eh? I mean, you know, I could have been anything, couldn't I, eh? I could have been a captain in the parish, or a one-parent family. Could have been an astronaut.
Granville was stuck with Arkwright, and he knew that until Arkwright passed on, or passed out, or whatever he did, he would never quite be free.
Look at me. I'm stuck here slicing bacon and my life is trickling away. I don't suppose I shall ever be cited in a divorce case.
You'll be short-sighted if you are.
I think British comedy is quite good at doing failure.
Do you know what that sound is? You know what that is?
Yes, I do. That's the pipe bell. It means there's seconds out and let's get some more money in the blue corner.
No, that is life passing us by. That is mortality, old age, sickness, death.
I think great comedy does need an element of some characters who are trapped in their world, and you're feeling that they'll never ever escape from it. And that's certainly true of Granville, isn't it?
Is the only real difference between Arkwright and Granville that one of them has accepted their fate while the other is still dreaming of salvation?
None of us really are ever prepared to turn round and say, you know, this is all there is. This is my life. That's what it's going to be. The people who can find the strength to do that are probably, you know, the happiest people, really, who accept that that's what life is. In a sense, Arkwright, I think, has accepted that's what life is.
Don't just try to sell him something. Talk to him about his dreams and his aspirations.
See, they've got the drains up again outside the slaughterhouse.
They're stuck together. There's nothing funnier than two people stuck with no way out, waiting for something to come and save them.
Good night, Granville.
Oh, don't send him out on his own.
Oh, don't fret about me. There's so much to do. I mean, the whole town's abuzz.
No one can deny the strength of the northern comic tradition. The bit beyond Brum has provided the entire nation with laughs for decades. So why is Open All Hours the only sitcom in the top 10 based in the north? So is there a conspiracy among the chattering classes based in the soft southern underbelly? Or is it simply the case that only Open All Hours can extract every ounce of northern wit, warmth and wisdom?
The North just somehow sums it up. It signifies the North, those corner shops.
It's the wife that decided I was a dedicated do-it-yourselfer.
Oh, that explains it, yeah.
Left to my own devices, I'm more your keen amateur idle beggar.
The writer knew his subject and his subject matter. That's why it was placed in the North. And all those funny characters actually came from the North.
Do you know what she wanted me to do on our honeymoon?
Now, you're not supposed to give away cabinet secrets, are you?
She wanted me to prove how much I loved her by redoing the bathroom with self-adhesive tiles. Self-adhesive, have you used them?
No.
I was up till 2 o'clock trying to let go of a nightie.
The very names, Arkwright, Nurse Gladys Emanuel, Granville, they're so solid and so northern, they couldn't be anything else. And it's like Millstone Grit meets Restoration comedy.
I've got this good, steady Indian clientele. No bother at all. It's the Yorkshire customers. They are very weird customers to crack. Between you and me, sometimes I wish they'd all bug off back to York.
The greatest homespun philosopher of modern times, a contemporary Plato relocated to Doncaster. Arkwright ends every show by giving us, the viewer, the benefit of his wisdom.
It's almost like Arkwright is not really a grocer, he's kind of God. And he's thinking about the little mortals that he's had to do with during the day.
It's a dark night. God save all lonely travellers. Especially those good-natured, simple souls inclined to spend money.
It's a wonderful way of telling the audience that the end is coming. I'm wrapping up the shop, I'm closing for the night, and meanwhile, here are a few thoughts of Arkwright's to go to bed with.
I was in with a chance tonight. I'll murder that Granville. Maybe tomorrow I'll manage to get my legs either side of her fireplace.
A great philosopher, really, wasn't he? I don't think I would have followed his philosophy, but I mean, you know, he had his philosophy and he was going to stick to it.
I wonder if Nurse Gladys is thinking of going into black underwear when her mother dies. I would certainly try to talk her out of it.
It gives it that real pathos to it, that, you know, after all the shenanigans in the shop, just brings you nicely to, rounds up to an end and waiting for the next episode.
Fancy asking Wavy Mavis to ring for the fire brigade. She dialed 999. Her voice said, "Which service, please?" and that was it.
It was so romantic and nice. It was nice. It gave you a feeling of safety. You thought, oh, Arkwright's gone to bed now, but he'll be up again tomorrow.
Ah, the end of another day at Arkwright's. Oh God, please make Open All Hours Britain's best sitcom. Why? Well, it's got the two greatest comedy leads Britain's ever seen. The best bust since Venus. A shop full of gossiping, full-bodied women. A menagerie of crazy characters. It's from the north. It's ruder than a Blackpool hen night. It's got that death trap of a bike and that ravenous till. And it's daft. And that's what comedy should be, isn't it? Daft.
So an episode of sheer daftness coming up next tonight. And next week, Carol Vorderman argues the case for the Vicar of Dublin.
I tell you, the last time I looked, the voting for Britain's best sitcom was as tight as Felicity Kendall's jeans. This one's going all the way down to the wire. Vote now by phoning 09011 986633. Calls last a minute and cost just 10 of your British pennies. Or you kids out there can text by typing in the appropriate word, for example, black for Blackadder or porridge for porridge, to 80024. Or lastly, you can log on to the website at bbc.co.uk/sitcom. The choice is endless, were it not for the fact that there are only 10. So join me for the live grand final on BBC Two.
Need some milk there, boss?
Yeah, I'd like to buy Johnny Wilkinson's left foot, please.
Come with me. Here we are, the famous foot. Very reliable under pressure. Want to try it on?
Yeah. Going to try the right one as well.
Yeah, this week we're throwing in Matt Dawson's World Cup winning pass with each pair. Very nice.
Coming back for Johnny Wilkinson.
The best skills in world rugby now available in the UK. The Six Nations Championship continues tomorrow, live and interactive only on the BBC.
Sit tight, an episode of Open All Hours coming up in a moment on BBC Two after a few more persuasive words from Clarissa.
If you need any further proof that Open All Hours is Britain's best, then coming up now is my all-time favourite episode. In my opinion, it's a classic example of why Open All Hours is the winner. Remember, this is the series that launched the career of David Jason. It's the only sitcom in the top 10 set in the north of England. It's ruder than Johnny Rotten in the Jungle. It stars Ronnie Barker in his funniest role and has the sexiest sitcom character ever in Nurse Gladys Emanuel. Enjoy! And if you want to vote for Open All Hours, I'll be back at the end to tell you how.